University student on $30,000 bail for assault and damage to property. Guyana News. A 23-year-old university student, Atia King, was granted $30,000 bail on Thursday after appearing in the Vigilance Magistrates Court to face charges of assault, causing bodily harm and damage to property. The charges stem from an incident that occurred on January 17, 2025, at Bachelor's Adventure, East Coast Demerara, involving her stepfather, Rayon Joseph. King pleaded not guilty to both charges after they were read to her by Senior Magistrate Sunil Scarce. King is accused of maliciously damaging 2 car tires belonging to Joseph, valued at $36,000. The magistrate placed her on self-bail for the property damage charge and set the $30,000 bail for the assault charge. Additionally, she was ordered to comply with a peace bond to maintain order between herself and Joseph. King is scheduled to return to court for trial on March 18, 2025. Contractor who beat neighbor with spade on $30,000 bail. Guyana News. A 61-year-old contractor, Alim Baksh, was granted $30,000 bail on Thursday after appearing in the Vigilance Magistrates Court to face charges of assault and causing bodily harm. The incident occurred on February 4, 2025, in Good Hope, East Coast Demerara. Baksh pleaded guilty with an explanation after the charge was read by Senior Magistrate Sunil Scarce. In his defense, he described his neighbor, Sheikh Hanif, as a menace to him and his family, claiming that Hanif frequently insulted him and was involved in drug use. Baksh alleged that Hanif had previously thrown a bicycle at his daughter-in-law, which led to a confrontation between them. According to the prosecution, the altercation began around 8 a.m. on a public road in Good Hope. Later that day, while Hanif was on his way to the supermarket, Baksh approached him with a spade and began striking him on the body and head. Hanif fell into a drain, prompting his family to rush to his aid and remove him. After hearing the case details, Magistrate Scarce changed Baksh's plea to not guilty and placed him on $30,000 bail along with a peace bond. The magistrate warned that failure to comply with the peace bond conditions would result in imprisonment for Baksh. $46.1 grams of narcotic found at Whitewater, NWD. On February 13, 2025, at approximately 13:30 HRS, police ranks and a member of a community policing group, CPG, responded to information received and visited the home of Richard Leach in Central Whitewater, Northwest District, Region 1. During the visit, officers informed the 69-year-old farmer about the allegations of narcotics at his residence and requested permission to conduct a search, which Leach granted. The search, carried out in Leach's presence, led to the discovery of 37 small transparent Ziploc bags containing leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis, located in his bedroom. Additionally, a white salt bag containing more leaves, seeds, and stems was found on his bed. Corporal Franklin took possession of the cannabis and informed Leach of the offense committed, cautioning him in the process. Leach reportedly responded, "It's my own. I does hustle." He was subsequently arrested and taken to the Whitewater Police Outpost, where the cannabis was weighed in his presence, totaling 46.1 grams. The narcotics were then packaged, marked, sealed, and logged in Leach's presence before he was placed in custody. Investigations are ongoing. "52-year-old fisherman pleads guilty to vandalizing tomb of 13-year-old victim." Parsram Tapsi, known as Radesh or Ranchi, a 52-year-old fisherman from Phase 3, Good Hope, East Coast Demerara, was arrested on February 11, 2025, by Sergeant Goodridge and charged 2 days later by Detective Corporal Singh, both ranks of the Cove and John Police Station. He faced a charge of malicious damage to property, contrary to Section 160 of the Criminal Law, Offenses, Act Chapter 801. On February 14, 2025, at approximately 11 o'clock HRS, Tapsi appeared in the Vigilance Magistrates Court before His Worship Mr. Sunil Scarce, where the charge was read to him. He pleaded guilty, and sentencing is pending a probation and psychiatric evaluation. Tapsi was subsequently remanded to prison, with the matter adjourned until March 17, 2025, for for sentencing. Guyana, US discussing Trump administration plans. President Dr. Irfan Ali recently announced that Guyana is in discussions with the United States regarding the migration plans of the Trump administration. He emphasized that any potential cooperation between the two countries will not involve the deportation of individuals to Guyana for detention in prisons. What we are discussing is our partnership with the US, and as the US unfolds its programs and plans, wherever Guyana can be of support, we have expressed our support, but nothing about having persons in prisons and having deportees here, Ali stated. He also mentioned that there are specific issues being discussed, including the flight and movement of people, although he chose not to provide further details. Last month, President Ali engaged in talks with Florida Senator Marco Rubio, the new United States Secretary of State, where they addressed the ongoing crisis of illegal migration. According to a statement from Rubio's spokesperson, Tammy Bruce, the two leaders agreed to jointly address this regional imperative and challenge. In related discussions, Guyana's Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo highlighted that the country will accept any Guyanese deported from the U.S. due to the new policies. However, he clarified that Guyanese authorities will not accept citizens of other countries being deported to Guyana. This comes amid increasing talks of mass deportations from the U.S., particularly in light of President Trump's recent vows and executive orders aimed at revoking birthright citizenship for children born in the states to individuals with unlawful or temporary status. Norton chooses not to condemn David Hines over derogatory remarks about Afro-Guyanese. Newsroom. Amid widespread backlash, opposition leader Aubrey Norton has opted not to denounce David Hines, a leader of the Working People's Alliance, WPA, for his recent derogatory remarks about Afro-Guyanese. Hines referred to supporters of the governing People's Progressive Party Civic, PPP/C, using terms such as house slaves and lick bottoms. Norton stated, "I have no say or control over what Mr. Hines says. Late last night I heard and I checked the details of what he said. I've heard people commenting on it, and if what I heard is true, I would have chosen a different language." He emphasized that no one has the right to dictate what others can say. This stance contrasts with that of former mayor and PNC member Ubridge Nareen, who condemned Hines' remarks as crossing a line that no responsible leader should approach. Nareen expressed concern over the implications of such divisive rhetoric for other ethnic groups within the political party and the country at large, particularly regarding Indo-Guyanese and other minorities. Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, PNC/R, noted that his party recently agreed to contest the upcoming general and regional elections alongside the WPA. President Dr. Irfan Ali also condemned Hines' comments during a live broadcast. However, senior members of the PNC have yet to issue statements regarding the controversy, with Nareen standing out as the only notable figure from the party to express disapproval. Your president is ready to work with you. President Ali. In the wake of a court loss by the Mocha/Arcadia squatters, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali has extended a supportive hand to the residents as they begin the process of rebuilding their lives. The opposition, which previously vowed to support these squatters, has remained silent following the court's decision. President Ali emphasized the government's commitment to inclusivity and the well-being of all citizens. He expressed his readiness to collaborate with the remaining squatters to find a way forward. The squatters recently lost a court case against the government, where they sought over $200 million in damages for their removal from state-owned lands in Mocha Arcadia/Caneview. Despite being served adequate notices by the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHPA, and the government's attempts to incentivize relocation, the squatters refused to leave the area. "We are a humane government. We see every single citizen as a responsibility of the PPP/civic government," President Ali stated during a live broadcast. He noted that it is unfortunate that the squatters were misled by the opposition, which sought to gain political mileage from the situation. "Whilst they stay silent on you, your president is ready to receive you. Your government has an open door and open policy to make the life of every Guyanese better, including yours. Know that you have a friend in us," he emphasized. Last week, Chief Justice Roxanne George ruled that the squatters have no rights, interests, or title to the lands in question, which are owned by the state and are located on Block X Plantation Herstelling, East Bank Demerara. This land is also part of the area traversed by the newly constructed 4-lane Heroes Highway. Husband, wife nabbed with 2.025 kilograms of narcotic at Crabwood Creek. At approximately 17:30 HRS yesterday, 2 police ranks on mobile patrol in the Crabwood Creek School Dam area of Corentine, Burbus, arrested a husband and wife found in possession of 2.025 kilograms of marijuana. Acting on specific information, the officers proceeded to the home of Premchand Kalacharan, known as Boyce, a 37-year-old laborer residing at Lot 29, Grant 1780, Crabwood Creek. Kalacharan is a known figure to police for trafficking in narcotics and other offenses, having recently been released from prison for simple larceny. As the ranks approached the house, they observed Kalacharan sitting on the landing, appearing to be parcelling something. The officers quickly exited their vehicle and entered the yard, catching him red-handed. Next to him was a multicolored bucket containing 4 bulky transparent wraps, 1 transparent plastic bag, and 52 small transparent Ziploc bags, all filled with leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis. The police took possession of the suspected cannabis and showed it to Kalacharan. At that moment, Shazida Kumari, his reputed wife, emerged from a bedroom in the house. Both individuals were shown the suspected cannabis, informed of the offense committed, and arrested. Under caution, Kalacharan stated, "Is me weed, you all come and find me with it." Kalacharan and Kumari were escorted to Springlands police station along with the suspected cannabis. At the station, the narcotic was weighed in their presence, totaling 2.025 kilograms. Both suspects are currently in custody pending charges, and investigations are ongoing. Severe consequences for hospital staff who behave inappropriately, Dr. Ramsamy. Newsroom. Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, chairman of the board of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, issued a statement addressing recent disciplinary actions taken against hospital staff. On Thursday, a senior doctor who had served at the GPHC for many years was fired, and 2 other senior doctors were suspended. This action followed an incident related to a recent delivery that raised concerns about staff conduct. The board emphasized a zero-tolerance policy for inappropriate behavior, stating, "Where there is evidence of inappropriate behavior by staff, there will be no tolerance and there will be severe consequences." The case at hand demonstrated that senior staff members acted in ways inconsistent with their responsibilities. Dr. Ramsamy commended the management for their thorough and rapid investigation, as well as their candid approach throughout the process. He acknowledged that the GPHC maintains high standards, which the majority of its staff adhere to diligently. He noted, by and large, the vast majority of the staff of GPHC conduct themselves and carry out their responsibilities with compassion and at a high quality consistent with international standards. The board insisted that any deliberate failure to uphold these standards would lead to stern consequences for the responsible staff members. While recognizing that these actions cannot undo the hurt experienced by the affected family, the board expressed hope that the measures taken would provide some relief. They also thanked the family for their cooperation with the hospital in seeking closure to the unfortunate incident. The Alliance for Change holds a successful meeting with the Guyana Trades Union Congress. The Alliance for Change, AFC, and the Guyana Trades Union Congress, GTUC, convened for a successful meeting yesterday, characterized by a respectful and cordial atmosphere where both parties could freely express their views. Central to the discussions was the upcoming general and regional elections, with both sides expressing concerns about the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, and its preparedness to deliver free, fair, and credible elections. With elections due in a matter of months, the need for a credible list of electors and a transparent voting process was emphasized. The participants agreed that implementing biometric identification at polling places would significantly enhance the credibility of the elections. Additionally, the AFC and GTUC discussed the importance of a broad-based approach involving political leaders, religious figures, and other civil society leaders to guide national development. Both organizations committed to continuing and expanding their engagements moving forward. The Alliance for Change was represented by Party Leader Nigel Hughes, Chairman David Patterson MP, Kemraj Ramjatan MP, Kathy Hughes MP, Beverly Alert MP, Diana Rajkumar, and Laura George. The Guyana Trades Union Congress was represented by President Norris Witter and General Secretary Lincoln Lewis. The meeting took place at the AFC's headquarters, Center for Change, marking a significant step in their collaborative efforts. Munchwars and John Fernandez join forces in $14 million investment in mobile harbor cranes. News source Guyana. Shipping and logistics companies Munchwars Limited and John Fernandez Limited have collaborated to commission Guyana's first mobile harbor cranes through their joint venture, Cranes Guyana Incorporated. This significant investment marks a crucial development in the country's shipping infrastructure. Mobile harbor cranes are essential for loading and unloading cargo from ships at ports, eliminating the previous necessity for vessels to bring their own cranes for offloading. Philip Fernandez, a director of the new company, expressed that this initiative represents a substantial improvement in port operations in Guyana, stating, "This we see as a big win for Guyana." The project was funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. Robin Munchwar, another director, noted that despite the companies being competitors in the same sector, they recognized a crucial gap that needed to be filled. He remarked, "We each recognize that there was a common good that is bigger than any one of us. This is a first for the shipping community and a lesson for the private sector of Guyana." President Irfan Ali delivered the feature address, emphasizing the need for more private sector collaborations in shipping and logistics. He acknowledged the unfamiliarity many local businesses have with such high-level partnerships and growth opportunities. "It is time for our local companies to embrace a new mindset, one that encourages them to think bigger, act bolder, and grow together," said President Ali. He highlighted the rapid growth of the oil and gas sector and other industries, urging businesses to move away from isolation and small-scale operations. The president also promised incentives for businesses willing to invest in the sector, noting that a successful transportation sector is integral to the country's overall success. A new wharf facility has been constructed at Munchwars Wharf to accommodate the new cranes, with the total investment amounting to $14 million. Norton questions president's commitment to helping mocha squatters who contested removal from land. News source Guyana. Following President Irfan Ali's statement that the government would remain open to mocha squatters who lost their court challenge regarding their removal from state lands, opposition leader Aubrey Norton expressed skepticism about the president's commitment to these displaced residents. Many of them have lived on the land for over 3 decades. Norton suggested that Ali's approach is politically motivated, stating, "Irfan Ali knows that his political party is in trouble. He thinks he has to develop some favor with the African community." He characterized the president's actions as damage control, questioning Ali's genuine interest in the well-being of the mocha residents. "Once they are in government again, which we know wouldn't happen, they will go back to their old ways," he added. The opposition leader criticized the government for allegedly using politics to manipulate the lives of citizens, particularly in the aftermath of the demolition of homes in Cane View, Mocha. He noted that many displaced individuals had established businesses and were being offered inadequate housing options, stating, "We could not, as a political party in which the people of Mocha support, agree to that approach." Norton highlighted that he was pleased to have advised the residents to seek adequate compensation, asserting that the government had no intention of providing it. He also mentioned the possibility of legal action against the government for property destruction, stating, "I do believe that there should be a case filed for the destruction of property." In a Facebook Live broadcast, President Ali addressed the displaced squatters, assuring them that they have a friend in the government. He described the PPP/C as a humane government, stating, "We see every single citizen as a responsibility. We offered all those who were squatting in Mocha an opportunity, one that was fair." Despite the court's ruling against the squatters, which was based on their lack of legal documentation for the land, Ali maintained that the administration is prepared to welcome the displaced residents back. Your president is ready to receive you. Your government has an open door and open policy to make the life of every Guyanese better, including yours, he said. Last week, Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George dismissed the squatters' case, highlighting their decision not to engage in the government's regularization process. The government has maintained that the residents were squatting on its reserve and had issued several notices for them to vacate the premises. Government still reviewing pay hike pact for GPL workers. Guyana News. In response to recent protests by workers of the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated, GPL, supported by the National Association of Agricultural, Commercial, and Industrial Employees, NACI, GPL management announced that Finance Minister Ashni Singh is currently reviewing an agreement on a 7% salary increase, which is expected to be implemented soon. However, NACI expressed frustration over the delay, arguing that the minister has had ample time to review the agreement. General Secretary Dachan Nagasar noted that protests resumed due to GPL management's failure to provide an update by Thursday morning regarding the salary increase. Kesh Nandlal, team leader of the management committee at GPL, stated that they are waiting for approval from both the finance minister and the Minister of Public Service. We have to get the approval, and he is in the process of reviewing, Nandlal said, assuring that implementation would occur soon. Nagasar criticized the prolonged review process, emphasizing that the finance minister has had the agreement for 3 weeks. He questioned the timeline for signing off on the agreement, stating, "Whenever the minister approves, then we have to sign it off. It's 3 weeks now and he can't done it yet." He warned that if no communication is received by Friday, protests would continue. The protests began on Wednesday after GPL management failed to respond to concerns about the salary increase delay. Although an initial protest at GPL Sofia, Georgetown branch was set to continue to the headquarters, it was paused as management promised an update. However, by Thursday midday, no communication had been received, prompting workers to resume demonstrations despite inclement weather. The ongoing issue dates back to June 28, 2024, when NACI submitted a proposal for wage increases and benefits. Following discussions, President Irfan Ali announced a 10% salary increase for 2024 and 8% for 2025, along with additional salary scale increases. NACI clarified that their agreement includes a 3% annual automatic scale increment, an annual performance incentive, and an across-the-board increase. Workers rejected GPL's initial offer of a 7% increase, arguing that it did not meet their expectations. Although the union later agreed to the 7% increase, they are now awaiting Minister Singh's approval to finalize the agreement.